Imagine arriving at work tomorrow morning and discovering that your company has hired a new employee, one that never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, never calls in sick, and can work through the night while the rest of the world sleeps. A few years ago, that idea would have sounded ridiculous. Today, some of the world's biggest companies are spending billions of dollars trying to make it a reality. But here's the strange part. The reason isn't because robots have suddenly become smart enough. It's because humanity is running out of workers, and that problem could reshape the global economy in ways most people haven't even begun to consider. This is the story of the race to build the world's first robot workforce, and why it may be happening sooner than anyone expected. When most people think about the future, they imagine new technologies, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, flying taxis. But one of the biggest challenges facing modern economies isn't technological at all, it's demographic. Across much of the developed world, populations are getting older, birth rates are falling, and in many industries, there simply aren't enough people to fill the jobs that need doing. In the United States alone, hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs remain unfilled. Similar shortages are appearing across Europe, Japan, and South Korea. And the problem goes far beyond factories, warehouses, logistics, construction, agriculture, healthcare. Many of these jobs are physically demanding, repetitive, or difficult to recruit for. For decades, companies solved labor shortages by hiring more people. But what happens when there simply aren't enough people available? That's the question some of the world's largest companies are now trying to answer. And their solution may surprise you. If companies need workers, why not simply build more machines? After all, factories have been using machines for decades. The answer is surprisingly simple, because the world was built for humans. Think about it. Factories were designed around human hands. Warehouses were designed around human bodies. Tools, ladders, doors, staircases, and workstations were all created for people. Redesigning the entire world for robots would cost trillions of dollars. So instead, engineers are designing robots that can fit into the world we already have. That's why so many companies are racing to build humanoid robots, not because they need robots that look human, but because they need robots that can work where humans work. And suddenly, the race is on. In California, a company called Figure is developing humanoid robots designed to work in manufacturing facilities. The company has partnered with BMW and attracted backing from some of the biggest names in technology. In Texas, Aptronic is building a robot called Apollo. The company has partnerships with Mercedes-Benz and major logistics firms and has secured hundreds of millions of dollars to scale production. In Oregon, Agility Robotics has already deployed its robot, Digit, in warehouses and logistics operations, including trials with companies such as Amazon. And then there's Tesla. Elon Musk believes humanoid robots could eventually become more important than Tesla's car business itself. For the first time in history, multiple companies are competing to create a general-purpose worker, not a machine that performs one task, a machine that can perform many. Walk, lift, carry, sort, move, adapt, learn, and perhaps one day, work alongside humans almost anywhere. But while the robots themselves are impressive, the real story isn't the robots, it's the economics. Because that's where things start getting interesting. Every technological revolution has a tipping point. Steam engines had one, computers had one, the internet had one, and humanoid robots may have one too. The moment a robot becomes cheaper than a human worker. Think about it. A robot doesn't need overtime, doesn't need vacation days, doesn't need transportation, doesn't need sleep. It can potentially work around the clock. Suddenly the calculation changes, not because companies want to replace people, but because companies are constantly trying to lower costs and increase productivity. Historically, human labor has always been essential for economic growth, but for the first time, a new alternative is beginning to emerge. And while today's humanoid robots are still limited, costs are falling rapidly while capabilities continue to improve. If that trend continues, the impact could be enormous. This is where the conversation becomes much bigger than robots, because history suggests that new technologies don't just eliminate jobs, they transform them. The Industrial Revolution replaced many forms of manual labor, but it also created entirely new industries. The Computer Revolution automated countless tasks, but it also created millions of new careers. The same may happen again. Some experts believe humanoid robots could take over dangerous, repetitive, and physically demanding work while creating entirely new roles in robot maintenance, training, and management. Others worry the transition could happen faster than society is prepared for, and nobody knows exactly where that balance will land, because unlike previous machines, these ones are designed to work where people work, and that changes the equation. For the first time, a machine isn't being built to replace a task, it's being built to replace a worker. That's a very different future. For hundreds of years, whenever humanity needed more economic growth, there was one simple solution: more workers, more people, more labor. But we may be approaching a moment in history where that assumption no longer holds true. A moment where economic growth becomes less dependent on human labor than ever before. And if that happens, the biggest question won't be whether robots can do our jobs. The biggest question will be what role humans choose to play in a world where work is no longer limited by the size of the workforce. The companies building humanoid robots believe they're solving a labor shortage, but they may end up changing something far bigger: the relationship between work and what it means to be human. Because the first robot workforce isn't just a technological milestone, it may be the beginning of an entirely new chapter in human history.